A warm welcome to you. We have an appointment today, so let us have a lively question answer session. This will help us to discover things about ourselves and discover some interesting and informative details and techniques about how to really enhance ourselves. So we'll be able to discover, and it'll become a process of new learning, and with that learning you will be able to connect with yourself, connect with your deeper self, and with everyone and the universe, and with that kind of understanding enhance our lives. So today we're going to have questions coming from you, and I shall try and answer them, and let us have a good time together. I have Ashton with me, and he's going to read out the questions, and I too have a few questions which have already popped up on my WhatsApp, and we could begin. If there is a question, let's start. So the first question that came up to me was, what is healing meditation? To answer that, I would say that the word healing comes from the word health, wellness, and it is the complete wellness, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, which we are really looking at when we say that we are drawing our attention inwards, taking this journey inwards, connecting ourselves with the energy circuit to understand who we are and how we can really remain at all times in that peak state of health and never to fall sick. Does that satisfy you? We can move on to the next question. Ashton, do you have a question?
What can we learn from the situation that we are going through right now?
There's a powerful learning at the moment because the entire world is going through this situation, which is absolutely unique. It is a situation where there is a kind of collective consciousness which is trapped in fear, anxiety, and all kinds of unnecessary, unpredictable thought processes as well as feelings, which sometimes we are not able to control. And during this very pressured time, to discover all the inner resources which we have, to learn about ourselves in times of stress and troubles, how we can cope with all this, and to connect with the world, to inspire them, as well as to create a positive energy in the world to heal everyone. And so I feel that in this situation, we need to really send these positive, optimistic messages rather than clutter our social media space with all kinds of fearful, negative, and very, very pessimistic thinking. Yes, I feel so strongly about that. What do you feel? Ashton, any other question?
How does meditation affect the immune system?
Good question. Now, what is this immune system? Within us, there is a powerful resource, and which is constantly protecting us from all forms of illnesses, diseases, and any kind of a bacterial or viral attack which could impinge upon us and weaken us. And it is in this vulnerable moment when we become weak that our immune system gives way. And the antibodies are not able to really fight the attack that is impinging on our physical system. So, what we need to do is protect this immune system, and the best way to do so is by healing our center heart. Our center heart, nerve center or chakra, as it is called Anahata in Sanskrit, this nerve center regulates the production of antibodies and to create that inner build-up for alleviating any form of stress coming onto our physical body. And this can be increased once you start meditating, because the all-powerful energy which is there within us is awakened. And when you put that awakened energy to work at the center heart, you are able to create that inner strength to handle any physical and even emotional problems.
How does our energy system work?
As I told you the other day, that we have very powerful energy systems, and that our energy system is located in our nervous system, which is again located in our spinal column. And at the base of our spine, in an inverted triangular bone called the sacrum bone, resides this energy in a spiral format. And therefore, in Sanskrit, it's called the Kundalini Shakti. Kundal meaning a spiral, around and round. And this energy system is what creates the power within us to handle our life. In most individuals, this energy remains in a sleeping state till it is awakened through a guided meditation, and then it passes through the different energy centers, opens up the nerve center, and creates all the qualities that reside in that center. And as you become awakened to this energy system, you realize all your potentialities and all your abilities, which are also lying dormant within you. I think that answers it to a certain extent, briefly. Thank you. Yeah. Can we move on to the next question, Ashton?
Very nice, interesting one. Energetically, what is the difference between being alone and feeling lonely?
A very interesting thought process, and it is completely a mindset that needs to be handled. See, when we say that, look, because of the social distance now, I am so lonely. This creates a negative mindset, and you start feeling that you have been kind of abandoned, nobody's there, nobody cares for you. Emotionally, now you are all feeling low down and depressed. And so, loneliness creates that kind of mindset where you feel disempowered. Alone, on the other hand, implies that you are now with yourself, and that you realize that yourself is so powerful. It has so many interesting things that you can entertain yourself with. It has creativity, it has the inner knowledge, it has the ability to form good relationships, and it is also able to enjoy music, writing, poetry, dance, and just imagine all the things that you can do alone. When you're alone, you have your own space, and that is the empowering space from which you can express yourself. And therefore, friends, don't feel lonely, but feel that power in your being on your own, alone. Great. I enjoyed answering this one. Because that's precisely what you're doing right now, you know. We're writing songs, we're writing poetry, sitting over here, we're listening to music, we're dancing alone. And it's a great space to be in. It's a luxury. It's for the first time that we've got this inner space. I would say let's all enjoy it. Ashton, any more?
Yeah, lots more.
Lots more? Okay, great. Let's go.
How will I know my chakras are functioning fully and are healthy?
All right. This is when you are all knowledgeable about yourself and you know your energy system, that you will be able to see that your chakras are fully open, functioning, and creating that inner power in each chakra. The way to test it, the way to know it, is to see if you are feeling the vibrational energy, which I need to talk to you about since I haven't discussed it yet. But when a chakra is fully awakened and functioning, you will feel cool vibrations both on that chakra and in the palms of your hand also. Each nerve center or chakra is manifested. So for instance, when your 7th nerve center is open and conducting energy completely, it is this point in your palm which will give out very blissful, cool vibrations, and you will know that then your 7th nerve center is opened up. Also, when you place your palm to open up the center and you're transmitting energy right here, you will see that when you just move the palm slightly higher, that you will feel that cool feeling at the top of your head. And that's the way you will learn and discover how each chakra, when it is open, creates a fully functioning quality of that chakra. I think this briefly answers it. but we need to go in greater depth, and we shall do so in sessions as they unfold.
Next question.
Yes, great.
What does healing yourself mean?
I think I explained it briefly in the first question. But when we say we are healing ourselves, what it means is that the energy, which is our resource, our primary resource, is awakened, and it is awakened to the extent that all the nerve centers are now functioning to their optimum levels. And because of that we feel that inner energy to protect ourselves from any emotional attack, physical attack, or even social attack. So it is at this point that you realize that now you're feeling happy, healthy, and really well about being who you are. That you are not trapped in any way. Your energy is not blocked in any way. And that you are feeling that lightness about yourself. And that feeling of inner light also starts flowing. That's the state of the healthy glow, as you call it. The light that shines on your face when you are truly feeling that empowerment. Now, I'm using that word empowerment a little lot today because that's precisely what you're doing. You're awakening our powers during this moment right now when we're passing through just phenomenal stress. And I have so many people writing to me continuously that I'm so stressed, I'm so frightened, I'm unable to sleep. What do I do? And so during this time, this energy needs to be healed. This energy, which is getting into a negative kind of loophole, needs to be again released and made into a positive push to create that inner strength. So that is healing yourself. Can we
Next
look
question.
at another question now?
How can we reduce our fears and panic in this current situation?
I think partly I've answered this, but let me again expand this. As I said, that most of our fears, most of our anxieties and tensions are all locked up over here in front of our breastbone, sternum bone, in that immunity controlling center. So this is the center that controls also your fears, your anxieties. It absorbs all the negativity from the environment, and hence it weakens us at this level. To again build our strengths and move away from thoughts, feelings, and negative emotions, which is our fear gripping us, let us therefore sit and clear our chakra. The center heart chakra, which I taught you how to clear, and let us also focus on the left sympathetic nervous system, which is the left channel in Sanskrit called the Ida Nadi, and clear that channel with the light element. You remember the candle we used? Or the diya? Or the lamp? Not, of course, the torchlight. Not the torchlight, please. It has to be fire. It has to be a light. So, this element helps us to build our energy potentials, which weaken our left channel, which is associated with all that we collect in terms of our past. So let us clear the past, which also clears the fears, anxieties, and tensions. So let's liberate ourselves. No fears from today. Let joy be to you and enjoy that inner confidence.
Lovely. I have a question.
Great.
So, while fears reside in the left channel and we are worrying about the future, which is right channel, how do we compartmentalize these and how do we heal the left and the right, or do we just be focused on the left? How should we be doing this?
Yeah, very interesting one. See, as human beings, as you know, we keep oscillating between the past and the future. So sometimes we're worrying about the past, oh my god, this happened, now what happened, and we are focusing on the past. But right now, we also have stress and anxiety and fears associated with our future. And you begin to visualize that, okay, right now I don't have the coronavirus floating inside me, but suppose suddenly it comes and I am one who's going to be affected. Or similarly, any other fear for that matter. I'm just giving you an illustration of the corona one because it's right now the contemporary fear. So, we as human beings have this constant imbalance going inside. Past, future, past, future, past, future. But you have to also realize that you can be in the present. Right now, here and now. And that is the center channel. Remember the first meditation which we did? It was of the center channel. Now that brings you to the present. And it therefore anchors you to the real right now situation. And when you're clearing your immune system, therefore, focus mainly on the center, because the past and the future will automatically get cleared once you are centered in the present. So, Ashton, does that answer your question?
Love it.
Love it. Great. Let's move on. I'm sure there must be
Lots more.
lots of questions.
How to deal with corona build-up anxiety in children?
Oh, fortunately, the very young children are just taking it as a fun thing, a joke. And you must have seen several videos on your social media about how children are handling it. Running away from people sneezing, running away from people coughing. And that's the kind of lively way in which they are looking at this whole situation. But we, on the other hand, are in a situation where, can you just repeat that question?
How do we help? How do we deal with the corona build-up anxiety in
The
children?
children, yes. But as the children grow a little older, they begin to absorb a lot of information as well as anxiety from the parents and the environment, and they also start fearing. They also start reacting to the whole situation in a negative way. So for instance, I have a lot of moms and dads who called me up and asked me, what shall I do? My daughter keeps crying for no reason at all. And when we ask her, she just says, oh, I'm frightened. Or she comes up with some question or the other. Suddenly, she may be playing or doing something like working for an exam. And suddenly she comes up with this kind of a panic attack, coming and hugging us to get that safety, security, and that kind of feeling of bonding. And that is the natural and innocent response of the children today to this anxiety. We as parents, therefore, or as adults, need to realize that first, we have to check out our environment in terms of what are we sending as signals to them to pick up. If we send negative signals, children definitely will be, in their approach to the whole thing, lacking confidence. And that itself becomes a big vulnerability. So let us not create the stress in our environment. Let us be positive. Let us talk to our children like adults, one on one. Give them the right information. Tell them that we are indoors. We are at home. We are safe and secure, and therefore there is really no need to panic. And you could do a simple meditation with them as well. Make them sit down, fill in on the immune system and responses. Tell them that we have a very powerful energy residing over here, energy over here. Use simple words with them and just say that when you're frightened, it's like a butterfly over here that keeps fluttering, and I'm sure you feel that. Just calm that butterfly, make friends with it, and let us just feel good. Nothing to worry, dear. Nothing to look at the situation when we are all protected. Give them positive affirmations like, I am safe and I am well. These positive affirmations, if you will keep saying and they will keep repeating, they will feel that inner confidence, and fears will slowly go away. Thank you.
Lovely. A continuation from that was, what can we say to a child to understand what exactly they're feeling? Sometimes it's unclear because they can't express what they're feeling.
Yes, so that's precisely what I said just now, that the children are spontaneous and they are clueless about what to really share in terms of words sometimes, and so they express it through insecurities, like coming and being close to you, hugging you, and expressing fears through looking at just blank spaces sometimes, daydreaming. When you see these kinds of responses from the children, you become aware of yourself and quieten your anxieties and fears. Transform that into a positive energy space. Maybe you can look at engaging in very productive and learning kind of an environment. Start probably an art class with your child. Maybe you can start also sharing music, talking to them about your past, telling them different stories, and in a story format also, alleviating their anxiety, relieving them from the kind of imaginary situations which a child with a very powerful imagination can create in time. So we all have to be like little vigilant guards with our children and see that we don't pass on the negative energy ball to them. You agree, Ashton?
Lovely.
Yeah.
Nice question. How do we deal with the guilt of having so much abundance in a time when others are suffering?
What fun. I think that many of you have expressed this to me. Mother, I feel guilty because we have plenty, we have everything today in terms of all the possible things one requires in this quarantine. Whereas you look at the outside world and people are completely at a loss because they're struggling with their basic necessities. And I feel guilty. What do I do? At that point of time, I tell them that nature has provided with abundance for everyone. And if you look around, you will find that abundance. Look at all the helpful souls today, all of them coming together collectively to help people who are in need of different basics. So the government itself has provided the biggest health center, nutritious food for your diet regularly. And so I'm sure we can do many things to help people and really not feel guilty. Sitting at home, maybe you can share many things. Like, if nothing, donate to the cause where people are working all the time, round the clock for that cause. You know, at our NGO, the Light of Life Trust, what we're doing, we are providing a 12-hour cell service where doctors are giving information for coronaviruses. We are also starting village to village checkup on the underprivileged people who need various resources, not just food, but other things as well, and trying to help them get that. Again, we've also started in our vocational center a whole ladies group cooperating and working together to create these masks. You know that there is a big shortage of these masks, and we are creating these masks and selling or just even giving away free, depending on who needs it. So there are so many things that you can creatively and innovatively think of doing for this situation, rather than just burden yourself with guilt and say, oh my God, I can't do anything, sitting over here in this quiet, lonely space. I think that's the way to look at it. You agree?
And leading from that, there's a nice question saying that how should we help our loved ones around the world? So I'm sitting here, but how do I help the loved ones around the world? Is there something I can do for them?
Yes, I'm doing that all the time because I have thousands of loved ones, and particularly a lot from UK and US. And today, also this morning, from the South Pacific. Lots of people over there have friends and family who have been affected by the virus. Some of them are in actually dire straits and really in need of help. What I would suggest to you is, I'm sure you're facing the same thing. What you can do is just send them the inner thoughts which are positive and the light which can energize the world and specifically people you know. Send them that love. That love has all the power to heal. And when you will unconditionally keep just sharing that love with hundreds of people whom you know all over the world, the whole world will have that positive energy force. And as Modi ji says, let us light a light. And this light will create that very positive charge in the world to create that global healing which we are all visualizing in our hearts. Let us do that. Yes, the last time he used the sound as a vibratory force. This time he has suggested let's use the light. So let us do it. Let us send this love and light to all the people we know and help them in their progress to heal themselves. And all my prayers and healing goes out to everyone for that.
two people asked this question. Why has this situation come about?
Oh, you're not telling me the names of people asking questions, Ashton.
Because I'm just
I
writing the
want to
question.
relate to them as well. Yes.
Okay, so the one that's on the screen right now is Aparna Sunecha's son is asking this question.
Oh wow, small, young.
Huh. Why
He's
did
just
this
a couple.
situation come about?
Oh, why did this happen? I know, everyone's curious to know, and the world is still seeking answers through research, through scientific papers which have been excavated, through doctors, through all the resources that we have today to understand how did this virus come about in the world. It's fascinating. Some say that it is just airborne and it is in the process of just evolution, that the universe created this virus to destroy the ones who were in darkness and to dissipate Kali Yuga to bring about Satya Yuga. This is one theory. There are the others who are more scientifically oriented, dear, and they are seeking answers. And they're saying that this virus was created, it is man-made, it is definitely created in a lab context. And there is this blame game going on between the superpowers today, as you know. So I feel that if we need to enlighten ourselves for this answer, we need to wait a little till more data is generated. And perhaps the clue lies in the fact that these days, within the last few years, many viruses have been created scientifically in a lab situation. So logic, lo and behold, let's stay with that idea perhaps that it is a man-made virus, and so man will find a way to also decimate this virus, to do away with this virus and break it completely. I think that's the way to look at it. Thanks for asking this, young man.
Christabel is asking, what cleansing can we do for our body and our home?
Great. The cleansing that you can do for your body is at different levels. At the physical level, you have received 1,000 formulas from doing a very cleansing inhalation of pepper, curcumin, that is haldi, then your ajwain, and all the various herbs, taking that steam daily twice or thrice. Along with that, taking the haldi chai, as we call it, early morning, during the course of the day, again and again, but definitely having some kind of warm liquid to keep the throat lubricated. So that's at the physical level. There are so many things suggested, and you know it all. You've all received 1,000 videos on them. At the emotional, mental level, I just shared with you that we need to declutter our negative spaces, cleanse them, and stop this pollution around by scaring people. We need to at all times see that our thought frame is positive, optimistic, clear, and absolutely with that inner shine, as I call it. When you are optimistic at the mental level, emotional level, you will be also able to share that in your environment. So cleansing of your environment automatically happens then with your smiles, with your gestures of fun and laughter, and looking at life in a way that none of these storms ever last. They will all go away. And that's the thought to hold in your head, that yes, right now we are having troubled times, but this will not last forever. And as I said, your internal environment, you do the cleansing through the healing meditations, which I am doing with you regularly. Tomorrow, incidentally, I'm going to share a very interesting, very simple body scan technique. And that is to take care of the stress levels in your muscles and in your body. Because many a times when we have fear gripping us, all our muscles in the body get stressed and taut. And so let's work at them tomorrow to create again that inner feeling of calm and relaxation. So tomorrow at 12 o'clock, again I have a date with you, and I invite you to join in once again for this simple technique which I will share.
Next question.
Yes.
Sandeep is asking, how long will this situation last in the potent stage? And I think we can combine two questions. Vicky has also asked a similar question, saying why the rate of cases has increased so much in the last 10 days. When will it slow down?
Super. Now, this is an oft again asked question because we have anxiety about the future, and we know that at present the situation is passing through its peak curve point. So it started off this way and it has now moved, and in some countries it's going this way, still peaking. In some it has plateaued off, and in some it is in the receding, going away state of existence. So the same will happen to everyone. It will pass through its cycle of the growth phase, of the plateauing phase, and then slowly it will die down. And today, as Vicky is saying, Vicky, we are passing through this phase right now where many more cases are coming up because the information and the knowledge that we have is not really grounded in reality. People still think that, oh, I can escape. Let me just step out for a little while and just let me finish everything. Let me interact. There are some people who had a party. I mean, can you imagine when we've been really under this lockdown to realize that we need this not for our safety but for everybody's safety. And so till everyone really is in that quarantine and isolated, and we are able to get a grip in terms of some definite solution, some antidote, as well as some definite medication that will help prevent the spread. Till then, we will see these numbers rising. And my guess is that by the end of April, it will start going slightly to the lesser side of the curve. And then by end May, June, many countries will see it peter out. But as I said, this is something that we will all experience and know and discover and learn. We have to wait and see how it pans out. Of course, there are many astrologers who predicted several dates, and you could refer to them for a little bit of peace with it. Yes, Sandeep, does that answer your question? Thank you.
Deepika and somebody else much earlier on had asked a similar question. What is our learning from this episode? What are the things that we should be learning from this episode that's happening?
I think the universe is teaching us very, very powerful and big learnings from this event? A, that we are all one, first of all, and that the universe, as we fragmented it in terms of countries, further into states, races, religions, and all that, has got really nothing to do with a single attack which comes on the human being per se. And so it has taught us first the most important and valued lesson, that we are all vulnerable and that we are all one, and that we need to act today as one force altogether. I think that's one important lesson. The other lessons, of course, are that environmentally we are violating our Mother Earth. Our planet is under great stress, but we seem to be oblivious to all the screaming and shouting that is happening from various elements in the world. The waters are angry and turbulent. The sky is angry from time to time. Our resources of food are depleted today. Fish are dying. Animals are under attack by the kind of stuff that we do on this earth. So it's a wake-up call for us. We need to realize that, oh, we need to change. And so it is this transformation which has to come from within, and I think that is the biggest lesson. And then collectively at the global level, this lesson has to be absolutely followed with utmost care to see that the world, the planet, and us are interconnected, and the energy of one is affecting the energy of the other. So let us not succumb to our own forces and create these kind of boomerang effects for ourselves, so that someday maybe we will create again a healthier, happier, and a planet that shares its bounty and abundance with everyone. I think these are some of the lessons. I can't go on and on. There are at least 12 lessons that are there in my focus, but let's not go through all of them right now. It will suffice for the time being.
So, Seema Patni is asking a question on behalf of Tanisha. We call you guiding light, but for people who do not know why do we do so?
Okay. All right. What is light now? Light is nothing where it tries to actually create that rightness within which we can see and focus and learn and discover. And so when we say guiding light, I am just guiding you to the path of this light, which is the path of truth, the path of Satya. And in that process of guiding, sharing with you experiences, discovering the joy of knowing new and different techniques, we are exploring together this light of knowledge and this light of learning, this light of healing and this light of love. And so many people refer to me as a guiding light. Very humbly I say that that's all the little work that I do. Okay, Seema? Thanks for asking that. Are we shooting our time limits or are we okay?
We've crossed 50 minutes.
50 minutes. Oh wow, my God. Is everyone getting impatient? Shall we call it a day and continue with this in the next session? Or
There's
is
a
there
very
one burning question which you
A
want to
sweet
handle?
question. Viveka was asking, where are you right now?
Ah, okay. For friends, I am quarantined in the countryside of Karjat on a farm, completely isolated from human contact in terms of touch and meeting. But I am with you in my thoughts, feelings, and all my visualizations and imagination. So I am very peaceful on a farm right now, but constantly working to see how we can handle the force of this virus. So we talked about these 3 projects that Light of Life Trust is currently embarking on or has already embarked on and is doing. Some of these things sitting over here, I am creating. I'm also creating this joy of sharing with you the inner understanding of how we can become power packed with our energy systems to realize the challenge we are facing. So that's where I am right now. You can see the nature surrounding me, the trees. You must be probably hearing the birds chirping. And I had to just control my dog, which came running to me, also wanted to participate in this webcast.
Armin had asked the question, but it was too big, so it didn't open. But now I finally managed to open it. Why is it a frightening experience? Ma, it's a frightening experience, but having said that, we must be strong. I'm alone and do not know where to draw the line between paranoia and practicality of sterilizing things, etc. Wish you all the blessings.
Thanks, Armin, for that question. But I think over here, one needs to use one's better judgment. You don't have to freak out and be obsessive about washing your hands every 10 minutes. You have to see if you've touched objects which are filtering in from outside. Then, please, of course, you need to do it. But if the paranoia starts creeping in and you begin to imagine that every little object and every person whom you are with is infected, then you are going to crash down and create definitely a problem at the emotional level. So be strong, we are all protected, and as much as possible, I'm sending prayers for protection, healing light all the time to everyone. And let us therefore feel that sense of being complete, being connected. And each day, through this internal search, discover how we can protect ourselves. So don't worry, my friend. Don't worry, dear. You will be well, and relax. Calm down. Do some meditation. Go into your inner space. Listen to music and dance away. Dance away the blues. And I think every day we need to practice the smile meditation. I'll do it someday for you. The smile is the most empowering weapon we have. I was searching for a word, but I feel that the smile heals us, the smile awakens us, the smile makes us share our positivity. And so this afternoon, go out and share that smile. Share that positivity, that optimism, and that courage which you have now to handle this situation. Go there, sparkle with joy, feel that I can help many people And I am not going to be down. I'm not going to be down. And this shall not last forever. I am well, I am happy, I am healthy. And with these affirmations, let us call it a day. Thank you. Stay blessed, stay happy, and with all my love, we meet again tomorrow at 12.